Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen, and welcome to The Vital Shift. Today, I'm doing something a little different. I've created a mock-up interview for educational and entertainment purposes to shine a spotlight on one of the most under-discussed yet life-changing topics in women's health: testosterone. This is not a live or real-time interview, but every word you'll hear comes directly from actual quotes, research, and physician statements from the recent FDA expert panel on hormonal therapy. This is the information women deserve to hear clearly, concisely, and accessibly. Today, I'm featuring insights from Dr. Kelly Casperson, board-certified urologist, hormone expert, and outspoken advocate for female, sexual, and hormonal health. Her voice has been vital in pushing back against decades of misinformation. And today, we're going to ask the questions women need answered. Dr. Casperson, can you walk us through the 2025 study that showed us a reduction in hip fractures in women using hormonal therapy?
Your high-functioning older sister breaks a hip, as 1 in 6 American women will. 30% will die, and only half fully recover. But in 2025, a study showed women given a female dose of a safe, inexpensive drug were 50% less likely to need a cane or a walker 6 months after a hip fracture. Wouldn't you want her to have access to that amazing medication?
Let's talk testosterone. When was testosterone actually developed?
That medication, testosterone, was first developed in 1935. 90 years later, your sister still can't get it.
As a urologist, do you provide testosterone therapy in your office?
In my clinic, I prescribe testosterone, an FDA-approved, naturally occurring hormone, covered by insurance. But all of those prescriptions, they're for men. In fact, 1 in 5 men are diagnosed with hypogonadism, a condition where their bodies stop making enough testosterone. Nearly all women experience the same hormone decline when they live long enough. Men have more than a dozen FDA-approved formulations. But when a woman asks for the same hormone, I have to tell her, there's no FDA-approved dose for you. The FDA is failing women by denying access to a hormone their bodies naturally produce.
Where in the body is testosterone made? And is there still a lingering stereotype about women taking it?
The ovaries and the adrenals make testosterone. Testosterone's stereotype is that it's just for libido. It's a half-truth. It's a neurohormone, critical for mitochondria, nerve function, muscle, bone, and brain function. Libido improves because dopamine and blood flow in the brain improve.
Wait. I just want to be clear about this. Women have been using testosterone since when? And what's the average dose trans men are given of testosterone?
The FDA has rejected 2 attempts at female dose testosterone, not because the products didn't work, but because they cited insufficient safety data, a legacy of the WHI backlash. But testosterone has been used in women since the 1940s, and trans men receive 10 times the dose. What other drug do we have where we give people 10 times the dose for 50 years and publish it, and then we're still asking if it's safe?
I remember working in urology when testosterone and prostate cancer were being fiercely debated. Do you recall how long it took for that safety data to be reversed for men?
Male testosterone products were approved with just 6 months of safety data. That is not a lack of evidence. It's a regulatory and equity failure.
So for the average woman watching this and thinking, I want to get my levels checked, What does she actually need to do to get a testosterone prescription filled today?
With no FDA-approved product, insurance won't cover it. Women are forced to microdose male products, justify their prescriptions at the pharmacy, or pay cash for higher dose, less regulated pellets.
This is really important. What kind of impact do you see in women once they start taking testosterone that they actually need, physically and emotionally?
Despite these barriers, as many women as men in America take testosterone. And I've seen what happens when they do. They start businesses. One said, "My math is back." Another, "The German I learned as a kid has come back." And my favorite, you know that scene from The Wizard of Oz where it goes from black and white to Technicolor? That's my brain on testosterone. We can't dismiss this as a lifestyle drug for women who know the secret handshake.
Dr. Casperson, please remind us, what is currently the fifth leading cause of death in women, and how might hormones relate to that?
Dementia is the fifth leading cause of death in women. An autopsy study showed that higher brain testosterone correlated with less dementia. 1 in 4 midlife women in America are on antidepressants, despite the risk of bone loss and reduced libido. New data shows more women can come off their SSRIs by adding testosterone than by just using estrogen alone.
Are there other countries that already have government-approved testosterone options specifically for women?
4 countries, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the UK, have government-approved female-dose testosterone, but only for low sexual desire. That forces women to justify treatment based upon sexual function, an already stigmatized issue that insurance often doesn't cover. With this current FDA, America will do better.
And finally, Dr. Casperson, how do we move the needle? What can the FDA do right now to help create real, lasting change around testosterone access and awareness for women?
So here's what I'm asking. Fast-track female-dose testosterone under the new FDA Commissioner's National Priority Voucher. It meets all 4 criteria. Clarify and simplify regulatory guidance so companies can make cost-conscious medications based upon strong established safety data. Approve it for hypogonadism, not low desire. Work with the DEA to declassify low-dose testosterone for women. The Olympic doping scandals of the 1980s shouldn't dictate hormone access in 2025. Testosterone is the most abundant gonadal hormone in the body, and women deserve access. The science is solid, and the need is undeniable. Picture 108 million women, energized, focused, and ambitious, not in spite of their age, but because they are supported through it. That's the country that we want our children to grow up in, and it's time for the FDA to act. Thank you.